Hey guys, welcome back. It is the beginning of May here in 2022, and we just got back from a week trip to Key West. We did pretty good, got our limit on a couple of days, and wanted to show you guys the footage. This first drift here, we're going over this reef, and it's only about 20 foot of water. This is probably the fourth or fifth black I saw, and he was just cruising on the top of this reef. Kind of shot away from me there, but he turned around to take a look, and I took that shot. Right as I shot, he turned real quick. I kind of got him mid-fillet on the upper back there, and he was able to run over into this rock here. But
I almost feel like when they're facing you head on, they could see the shaft coming, hear the shaft coming, and they're already on edge. They see you, they already know what you're up to, and they're just able to react that much faster. So we try and wait for a broadside shot, but with a nice fish like this, I mean, you know, he's in the boat. But unfortunately, we did lose a little bit of meat on him.
yeah, I mean, you got to take the shots you can. But we did see on a couple of the fish on this trip, they're looking at us head on. We go to make that shot anyways, and it just, they have just enough time to react. But first fish of the season, and it was a pretty good one.
First fish, first spot. Good way to start the season. Let's bury him.
This next clip, we were diving, really nice area. There was this little crevice down here. I've seen groupers here in the past, and I see all these grunts, and I see all this life, and I'm down here looking in these little holes and crevices, and there he is. I see him right there on the edge, and I take that head-on shot once again, and unfortunately I shot him right down the side of the fillet.
That's one of the biggest issues with shooting them head on is you run that risk.
I mean, even if you hit him right between the eyes, you know, you're gonna ruin some meat. And I don't know if you saw there, but freaking Jewfish came out and grabbed my fish.
Yeah. All that fighting with the fish right there in front of him must have
I got it on camera.
made him want to bite it.
Oh, while I was pulling him out of the rock, a Jewfish grabbed him out of my hands. Got it on camera. Should have it on camera anyways. Ah!
The reason I'm showing this clip is it's something that I think we can really learn from. This fish was sitting right there, and I kind of anticipated him being there. So when I rolled that corner, I was ready to shoot, hand was on the trigger, ready to go.
Yeah, and once you find these areas and these holes where these black grouper like to hang out, where you see them consistently throughout the year, you know, you're gonna figure out where they like to be and where they like to sit. So it's always a good rule of thumb to have that gun up and ready, and you know, have it pointed in the direction where you think they're gonna be.
Right, and you can see here, this clip is at the exact same spot, facing the same way, rolling the same corner. Nice black grouper right there, and he tries to go and do the exact same thing. He just can't get into the hole as easily this time because of the shaft. If I had waited even a second longer to get the gun ready, they could have shot in that hole, and without a flashlight, might have never gotten that fish.
So on this dive, we were looking for that one black that you saw in the earlier clip that we missed. We're taking a look around for him. I got the light, not seeing him. And then I hear my brother up above me. He's grunting at me. And that typically means that there's a fish above you or next to you, so I'm looking around and I see this nice yellowjack swimming along down the reef. I'll wait till he gets up with me, slowly raise that gun up, just squeeze the trigger. Nice stone shot.
The thing I like about that shot there is, instead of like jerking around, you knew the fish was coming to you and you pointed the gun where the fish was going, not at the fish.
Yeah.
This here, these were two really big yellowjack. You see right there, I thought I stoned this fish, but actually if you watch the footage back, I hit him a little high. I started taking a bunch of line, and I thought I had a really good shot in him, so I put a little bit too much pressure in it, and it just ripped right out.
When you grabbed the reel, it just ripped right out. But that was probably about a 30-pound yellowjack. That was a really nice fish.
That would have been one of my bigger yellowjacks.
But non-lethal hit. That fish will live to see another day.
Yep, fortunately. This is another spot, and this is one of the best things about Key West, is you have all this amazing reef. So you got the light ready, coming in around the corner. I had seen a couple of black groupers shoot up in this cave, which is why I'm a little extra careful here. Looking around, the one I thought I saw come in here was pretty big. So I'm looking, checking the little holes, and you see right back here, there's a grouper. But when I first look at him, thought he was a little small. So I look around a little more, make sure that that bigger one's not in here, and then I give him a second look, and he's way back up in this cave, so I want to get my shot just right and stone him. But I mean, when we pull him out, you can see
That's probably a 15-pound fish. I mean,
yeah.
he was...
They don't normally sit there like that,
No.
but
When they get up in that structure, man, they think you can't see them, and they think they're safe. But
yeah. And you can see just how far back we were in this cave to get him. Because even from where my gun is here, got the whole line way back there.
really fortunate that he got a good stone shot on that fish.
I knew I needed to, because fighting with him back there wouldn't have been fun, especially if he got it all mucked up and
tangled around those rocks and those pillars and stuff.
Yeah. You can see even where I'm at there, past my fins.
It's always good to dive in pairs when you've got a fish rocked up. One person down, one person up, always watching over each other. As you can see, that's a freaking gorgeous fish.
Nice freaking black.
Well, it's not too bad. I saw one that was bigger go in there.
Back there.
Yeah, he was.
So our dad usually dives with us. In the first couple of days of this trip, he was actually still stuck at home because he had COVID. So this was on like day 3 or 4 of our trip. This was first spot. He just jumped in.
Of course, we were doing those little chum balls towards the beginning before they got in, and this nice mutton's just circling around looking for food, and he's real calm, and as they say, chum makes him dumb.
Yeah, so this mutton, hard to tell from the GoPro underwater. He doesn't look massive here, but when you see him on the boat, it's a nice fish.
He's probably a good 7-pound mutton. He's really nice.
Oh yeah.
Especially for spear.
Yeah, and you can
Gorgeous
see
fish.
the shaft barely goes past the flopper. He just got such a good stone shot on him that didn't even have to fight him at all. Because if that fish had any fight in him, probably would have ripped out.
Oh, it's a nice one.
That's a spot.
Probably pretty close to 10, I'd say. You can see the grouper sitting in the sand like that. This was actually the same spot that he had just shot the mutton. He's only been in the water maybe 10 minutes at this point, and he's chasing this black. At the very top, you can see another black there, so they're just all over the place at this spot. So he sees him go under this one ledge, and this is just another example of gotta be ready to shoot, because if you give them even a second, they can get out of there. Coming over this, and he thinks he's right under this side here, and you can see he's a little bit further to the right than he expected. By the time he can get the gun ready, he had shot the fish a little bit further back.
It's a pretty odd spot for that fish to be sitting. I probably would have done the same exact thing, aiming towards a bigger hole. But
yeah, and he was a little worried about his shot because he had moved, so this is my dive right after, just kind of take a look, get the flashlight out, and see just how well he's hit, because you don't want to rip that shaft out of him if you can help it. As you can see there, I can see the shaft had gone through the whole body of the fish, and that flopper had deployed, so grab the fish by the tail and drag him out of there. Probably should have got my hands on his gills, because he rips out of my hands there, but you can see that shaft is all the way through. Grab the line and just bring him right up.
really got to be careful when fish are doing stuff like that, because especially in murky water. Fortunately, the water was clear, but in murky water like that, when you have a fish that's still got a lot of life in them, you really want to get those hands and those gills, get them close to you, and get them back in the boat, because it's highly possible that a shark will come up and snatch them.
As you can see, it's a pretty healthy black.
Nice one, man. Freaking stud.
All in 30 minutes time.
Yep.
Got him.
just after having COVID.
Nice black. Oh my god.
Gorgeous fish.
So I had just jumped in the water here, and this amberjack swims right up to me. And we love our smoked fish dip, and amberjack just makes really good smoked fish. So I took that shot, and I guess it got him in the gills, so he started bleeding like crazy. It should have been a pretty good holding shot, so I tried to just pull him right up to us, get my hands in his gills, but he still had quite a lot of life in him. You can see here, we're wrestling with him.
Probably should have just hugged him.
Yeah. Well, we thought we had this fish in the bag. You can just see how much blood there is in the water.
But I mean, after this, he really freaking wakes up.
Yeah, Justin goes down. You can see the fish is still just kicking. Trying to put this second shot in him. You can see he kicked right as he shot there. And it's just not the best second shot. The fish actually tears out both of those shots and swims off. And you can see here, he's not looking too hot. So I go down and try to put one in him with the other gun. I either just missed or just skipped off the top of his head there. But after this, he took off and we could not find him. It's really a shame.
Unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes.
This is a black grouper at that same spot. And the cool thing about this shot is the two other black groupers that shoot out to the right there. This one's really nice, and Justin goes and chases him down. Even the one I got here is healthy blacks. Good to see the population. At this spot, I think Justin chased that other black I was pointing at, and he took him to another really nice ledge system.
So I've seen him running down here. First off, when I ran over here, swam over here, I saw about 3 or 4 other blacks. 2 went in this side, and then a couple other went in a little bit further down the ledge system. But I yelled to the boat for a light because I'd already taken one dive and saw that it was way too dark back up in there for me to see. So my dad comes over, brings me a light, and I flick it on, and it's not working. And so set my gun down, and I'm trying to get this thing working. You see me banging it on my hands there. And as I'm doing that, I look back up, and this black grouper swims right up to my face. And I was able to get a really nice stone shot on him. Should be able to see him here in a second.
Yeah, I think all that tapping on the ground and against your hand made some noise and just pulled him right out of that cave. And he just sat right there.
Yep. Sometimes it makes it look like you know what you're doing. That's a real good stone shot.
Yeah, it's a healthy black grouper. This is the same spot I had shot the most recent black. And when those 2 fish shot out, another fish came in from a distance away, and it was a really nice black. And everyone had their fish at this point but Milan, and she wanted to shoot it. So she's swimming up on him, and she probably should have shot right there. You can see that fish just figured out what was going on. We chased him down. You can see him in the sand there. Followed him along that edge. And then right here, he shoots off. And it was hard to tell if he went into that ledge there or if he went past it. I thought he went in it, so I checked all in that ledge and just could not run into him again. Shallower spot. Just glide right up to him.
They gotta be one of my favorite fish to shoot.
Yeah.
They're a real challenge. If you could get a mutton on a spear gun, that's really saying something.
Yeah. Those ones down in Key West are a little dumb though. So after missing that one nice black, we went to another spot a little shallower and saw this one sitting out in the sand. Sent Milan down at him. She shoots here, but it's almost a little too late. Again with the head-on shot. Just hit him a little further back, and he took off with the line on the reel gun there. Not knowing how good or bad the shot was, my dad runs over here and puts a second one in him. This would be topping off our limit for that 4th day down there. And the cool part about this is Milan is the one that gets to go back down and untangle them and bring them back up all by herself.
She looks like a pro down there.
Yeah, she's getting there. Grabs all the lines, grabs her fish, comes right on up.
There you go.
High five. Good job.
This is another one of those shallower spots, and
We were actually diving the Gulf side this day. It was a little windy up front, so we decided to hit some of the stuff on the back side of Key West, and it's really hard to pass up these delicious red grouper. I mean, they're just amazing food quality.
yeah, when they sit there like this, they just let you get that perfect shot. Now, we had to throw in a couple of the bloopers on this trip. We had a couple of fish. We were talking a little earlier about those head-on shots. Just the fish having that upper hand when it comes to seeing what's going on there. So you can see this black's laying out in the sand. He's pretty good sized.
I come down, I flinched right there just because I thought I was going to shoot there, but he decided to come around that other side of that head, and I take that front-on shot again, and like I was saying earlier, man, I think they could just see what's going on.
You can see in the slow-mo there.
He got out of there before the shaft even hit the sand.
Yep. This is me at another spot. Another grouper just sitting out in the sand. Looks like he's just going to sit there and take it. But it's very possible I just missed on this one. But they move so fast. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We really had a good time down there in Key West this year. It's kind of like a annual trip, and this is the second version of this video. We thought we'd bring you a few more tips and tricks, as well as some slow-mo shots, just going over some of our dives, and hope you like it. So if you want more content like this, feel free to subscribe and follow us along.